In this video, we're going to be looking at the text box control. Text box control is used to get input from the user of a web application. The text box is the text area that you usually see when you use a website, where you can type your name and username and password. In ASP.NET, text box can be used to represent three types of input fields, depending on the text mode property that you set, which I'm going to show you the text mode property. You can use the text box area, text box control to obtain password from user so that the characters in the fields are not displayed. You can use the text box for multiple line input field, what we call the text area in HTML, this large area where you can type. And you can also use it as you see it every day, as a single line input field. Other useful properties of text box control includes the AutoPostBack, which we're going to be demonstrating. We're going to demonstrate this. When you want to configure the text area, the multi-line, you have to state the rows and the columns properties of the text box control. You can also state the maximum length. Say for example, you don't want user to type more than 15 characters. Say you want only 6 characters for their password. You can limit the number of characters that they can type into the field. And lastly, and also read only, because there are other properties of the text box control, but these are the ones that are very important. You can make it to be read only as well, so that means the user won't be able to modify the content, they can only read it. Text box supports a method called focus. This method is used to focus, just like the name suggests, is used to focus a particular text box among other text boxes. Because say for example you have 5 text boxes, you can always say whenever the user do a particular thing, maybe whenever a user check on like a radio button, you want a particular text box to be focused, so user can straight away type into that text box without having to use the mouse. So you can use it like this: text box 3.focus. You can say whenever the radio button is selected, then text box 3.focus. The most important event supported by text box control is the TextChanged event, which fires whenever the text in the input field is changed. So whenever user type a text in the text box control and they click away, if the user does something, they can for example, if the user click a button, you can fire this text change to reflect the changes that has been made. So whenever the text change, the event fired. So you can combine AutoPostBack property with the text change event so that changes are automatically posted back to the server. So let me show you what I mean, because right now it might sound like okay. So now we have VWD 2008. So what we want to do is we want to first of all, let me show you the text box control. As you know, we've arranged this by alphabetical order. So we go to T and we got our text box. So let's look at some of the properties. So this is a text box 1, which has been selected here, and from top we can see the access key. Just like I said in a past video, you can usually read the summary of what the property is about. So this is the AutoPostBack, which I'm going to be talking about. So whenever if you specify the AutoPostBack to be true, that means every time you change the text inside the text box control, it will be automatically posted back to the server. You can change other properties, and and this is the read only. So we can set the rows. So if we set the rows to, say, let's set the rows to 5 rows, and let's set the column to columns C. So if we set the columns to, let's say, 10 columns, you will see that nothing will happen until we actually change the text mode, because you need to change the text mode because at the moment it's set to single line, so the rows and columns will not be effective until you change the text mode to multi-line. As you can see now, it's been changed now. So now we have 5 rows and 10 columns. Let's make this to be 20 columns. Okay, so now we have 20 columns and 5 rows. So that's what we call the text area in HTML. So let's set the max length to be 10, but the max length is only will be applicable if you set it back to single line text mode. So let's set it single line text mode, and now if we run the website, so let's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0, then 1 2. As you can see, I'm pressing the keys on my keyboard, but it's not allowing me to go any further because we set the max length to be 10. So that's how you use those properties. And another properties that I was talking about, so I've talked about the AutoPostBack, the rows, the columns, the max length, and the read only. I think it's time to do that as well. So let me set the property of the read only to be true. So if we set the read only to true, that means we will not be able to type inside of our text box, so it will actually be useless. So it'll be useless, okay, because we can only read. So as you can see, no matter how much I'm trying to press the keys on my keyboard, it's not allowing any input from it because it's a read only. So that is the way this property works. So the next thing I want to talk about now is the event that it supports. So as I've discussed in the previous video, how you can get to the event. One of the easiest, I think the easiest way is to, well, they're all easy. For example, the default event that it supports is the text change event. So I can simply double click on it and I will get the text box change event. Another way to go about it is to actually say text box 1. If you select the text box 1, you can simply select the text change event and it's going to add it automatically for you, so which we've talked about in the last video. So what I want to do now is I want to say every time I type, every time the text is changed, I want to set the value of the content of that text box to be assigned to another control. So let's do that. So if we had a label, let's add a label. Let's add a label at the bottom label. So this is the label 1. So we want to assign whatever you type in it to be on the label. Whenever we type the any information into the text box 1, so if we click if we press the return key on the keyboard, the label text will be changed to whatever is here. So because as soon as you press the enter key on the keyboard, it's going to post the information back to the server, so that the text change event will be fired. So let's do that. So if I go to the I can say, so we're going to say label 1 dot text equals text box 1 dot text, right? So that's what we want. So now let's run the website and see how that is working. So if we type anything, we can't type anything because I've forgotten to remove the property. I need to stop it. I forgot to set the read only property to false, so that's why we couldn't type anything. So read only property, we have to set that to false. So now let's run our website, so we'll be able to type into it. Okay, text box content. Oh yeah, sorry, we limit to 10. Okay, so anyway, you get the idea. So if I press return now on my keyboard, this is what I type inside. Remember, I forgot to remove the maximum characters. So these are whenever you set a property, always remember to remove it. So sorry about my mistake. So Anyway, so you get the idea, but this is not the ideal way to do it, because remember, I have to press the keyboard, I have to press the return key. Why can't we make it happen automatically? So what we do now is, because we can allow the what we just created to fire automatically, because if you remember, I told you that we have a property called AutoPostBack, automatically post back it to the server. So instead of us pressing the return key, we don't have to press any key. As soon as we click away from the control, it's going to fire itself. So if we say AutoPostBack to be true, so let's run it and do the same thing. So we're going to see that you have to try it on your own computer. So let's say TextBox. So as soon as I just click away from this control, it will automatically post back. So that's how you use it. And so you can just think of how you want to implement that on your website. So I hope you have learned some few things from this video about how to use text boxes, and we're going to be talking more about other input controls in the next video. Thank you.